Maybe you only want what you can't have. Never seem to be satisfied till it all goes bad. Maybe I should just give someone else a chance. Why should I sit alone and be sad while you fumble the best you ever had? It's not fair to me or my heart. I was forced to start over when we fell apart. Could've had it all, but you pushed me right into his arms. You wanted to break, I wanted to stay. Look what you made me give my love away. You made a mistake. Say that you've changed, but it's too late. I gave my love away. Don't play the victim now. Let's state the facts. You're the one who left. I just quit taking you back. Maybe I should just give someone else a chance. Why should I sit here waiting on you? I am in a forever or never type of mood. It's not fair to me or my heart. I was forced to start over when we fell apart. Could've had it all, but you pushed me right into his arms. You wanted to break, I wanted to stay.
Lights off, transparency on. Late night marriage with the richest. Late night marriage with the richest. You need that real talk, this is what you want. Lights off, transparency on. Let's go.
Welcome, and thank you for coming, tuning in to another episode of Late Night Marriage with the Riches. I am Damon Rich,
I am Tamika Rich.
and let me make sure we got sound here. 'Cause I don't see my levels. Where my levels at? Oh, there they go. All right. Yeah, so thank you for tuning in with us today. We are glad to have you here tonight. Um, we're going to dig into this topic on tonight. I got some things I want to get off my chest.
All right, let's get them off.
Yeah.
What we talking about?
Some on your mind, let them off. Why she need to hush.
Mm.
And
Let me. Oh, I'm done.
yeah, more I thought about this topic, the more I thought about the topic, the more I feel like, hey, this is a more, it's like it's multifaceted, it's multi-tiered.
Mm-hmm.
This particular topic is, I'm finna try some because I'm just adventurous like this. Yes, I am. I sure am. Oh, let's see. Oh, it probably ain't gonna let me do it. Wrong thing. Okay, gotta switch accounts. I'm I'm finna go live on IG for a minute, for just a minute. A behind the scenes view for the IG crowd. Yes, I am. Sure. Oh, that's why I didn't do it. That's why I didn't do it. Let me turn it up. But anyway, the more I thought about it, and this really comes out based off of a few different, how do I want to say this? This comes out based off of some videos some videos I watched,
Mm-hmm.
but
Let me get comfy
also
for this one.
um it came off of some videos I watched, but also just some thoughts and some conversations I was recently had.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like really um she need to hush. Like the she, the collective she to needs to hush because of the I promise y'all I'm gonna get this going.
He gonna get it out in just a minute.
Just a minute. Yeah, there we. All right. Yes, yes. Um, like she really need to hush. And I'm gonna start one place because it's a video I had did, but I didn't have the opportunity to kind of re-record it. And she needs to come on. All right, cool. Share with everyone. All right. So she needs to hush is kind of what we're gonna talk about a little bit tonight. And great. And so if you are watching this on Instagram, this is the behind the scenes view. What? Gotcha. If you are behind the scenes, if you're watching this, what? I don't want to switch to my phone camera. I don't want to. Oh, I know what's happening. Y'all don't worry. Y'all don't worry.
This is the techie.
This is the techie in me. I'm doing something completely it don't like it don't like sharing. It does not like sharing, y'all. Let's try this again. There you go. All right. So if you are watching this on IG, this is from behind the scenes. You're getting the behind the scenes view. Um, this thing does not like sharing. Okay,
It
I'ma
won't let
just
you be great.
it won't let me be great. No, I don't want to. So, um, I'm sorry if you're on IG watching this. I was trying to use the meta glasses. Some reason it doesn't want to work. So I'm gonna turn this off and we'll try this again another time. All right. Discard the video. All right, let me tune into this main audience. I'm so sorry, people. I was trying to do the most. So listen, let's jump into this. Let's jump in this. I'm gonna have to edit all that out of the video for YouTube. But she needs to hush. And
Mm-hmm.
this is a conversation um that sparked in me for a number of reasons. And I'm gonna start with the first reason of why it kind of came to me. So here
Mm-hmm.
lately, I've heard at least three different people. I can remember Tim Ross. Then I heard Wall Street Trapper say it the other day, and both of these guys have seen them in person, met them in purposes, and not that I've spent some time chatting with Tim Ross, not as much with Trap, but you know, but the guys just seem to be outstanding, been following for a while, what have you. No one's perfect. We all got our thing. But I was listening to I heard Tim Ross say it, I heard Trap say it, I want to say I heard one more person say it. But this is the thing they keep saying. And basically this is where the title comes from. She Needs to Hush. Is they're talking about how in the garden with Adam and Eve that Adam under communicated, right?
Oh, okay.
Adam under communicated, and that's why Eve got the fruit and she was out of order and why she did that. So let's take all of the accountability away from Eve and let's make it all the responsibility of Adam. Now,
Okay.
as a leader, it stops with him. However, you can't remove everything from her.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But it's like, oh, he under communicated. And why it's troubling me is, where did they get this from? Like, where in the word do we get, like, I think Tim Ross, and again, no disrespect to either of these guys, love a lot of their content and their thought processes and how they go through the process of healing. Matter of fact, then got into EMDR because of listening to Tim Ross, and it changed my life. But where in the world did we get that Adam, he under communicated with Eve?
Right.
Like we just made something up in the scripture, it seems, or just pulled something out that wasn't there. And I think Tim Ross, and when he was talking about he should have slapped that fruit out of her hand, then he would do something different than God, because God gave free will. God gave free will.
Right. Right.
So if anything, she needed to hush and listen to Adam, but slapping the fruit out of her hand? I'm like, come on, dude, no. What am I, her master?
Right.
Right? I am her head. I am that leader, right? In the garden, there is an order in the garden,
Right.
but me slapping the fruit out of her hand, and at best, from a scriptural perspective, there's maybe 3 things that Adam should have done. Adam should have, one, checked the snake. Hold on. What you doing talking?
Right. Right.
Right?
Right.
Men, we do a horrible job sometimes of allowing too much external communication to happen in our home and not checking it under a number of reasons.
Right.
You got to know when the snake is, even in your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, may resist you and like, oh, you being controlling, you this and that. My job is to listen to the snake.
Right.
Listen out for the when listen for the snake when the snake is whispering. Now I'm listening to this episode of Hardly Initiated with Trap and AO on there. Had an opportunity to meet AO as well, and and follow a lot of his stuff. And then when we went to the live, just meeting him up close and personal, seemed like a just down to earth dude. All 3 of these guys, right? But at best, but on this Hardly Initiated, they're talking about how, like, spiritual maturity. So men, we have to get our weight up spiritually, to the point where when we can identify when the snake is talking, so that we can address it, and we have to address the snake regardless of how our wife feel about it.
Right. Yeah.
She need to hush. If I gotta address the snake, you gotta hush.
Right.
It's my job to talk to the snake and deal with the snake. And if the snake gets unruly, I already know where to point him to. But I also know what tools to use to talk to him.
Right. Right. So your hushing is meaning don't even respond, of course, to the snake, to the enemy.
Yes. She needs to get into a place of spiritual correctness and promptness where she can understand the snake and hush her mouth and not even have a conversation with the snake. And snakes come in all shapes, sizes, colors, frames, whatever. She's got to have a level of discernment of saying, uh-oh, the snake is talking.
Right. Right. And it starts out with saying the woman was deceived. So that kind of gives you it gives you a guess, or it gives you some insight on who we are.
Right.
And that's why he came to her and not Adam in the beginning.
Yeah.
Not that man can't be deceived.
Yeah.
But it probably takes just a little bit more
Yeah.
sometimes or a
Yeah.
lot of times.
Yeah.
But anyway, so his prey was the woman from the get go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always say this: women are prone to deception. Men are prone to just outright disobedience. We
Mm-hmm.
just hard headed,
Mm-hmm.
right? A woman can be talked into a lot of things that a man usually can't be,
Right.
right? It's a difference in the sexes or what have you. But it is a where they're talking about he under communicated, they're also saying, well, he didn't tell her
Mm-hmm.
enough. He didn't communicate to her well enough
Right.
about the fruit
Mm-hmm.
and not to eat. And so she didn't know. But here's the crazy thing. If that's true, how come when the snake talked to her
Mm-hmm.
and said, "Aren't you're not supposed to do this, right?"
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, no, no, that tree right there, we can't eat it nor touch it." So she added to you, "No, you need to hush.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't that he need to slap the fruit out of your hand. It's not that he under communicated. No, you need to hush. You need to have discernment to know when you should be talking, when you shouldn't be talking. And it ain't even so much that you got to go run to your husband. You just like, hold on, you ain't supposed to be talking.
Mm-hmm.
Because this area,
Right.
we have
Dominion
dominion.
over, yeah, for sure. For sure. But then going back to even the communication, if you think about it, so she knew
Mm-hmm.
because she was able to say, no, he
Yeah.
said this, God said this.
Yes.
Yeah.
She knew.
Mm-hmm.
So where we get that he under communicated, no, this is essentially a situation where he needed to hush. She needed to hush. But if there's three things that Adam should have done in that moment, is one, address the snake.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you and I dominion. Hush your
Mm-hmm.
mouth.
Right.
God gave us this dominion. You're not going to talk against him,
Right.
right? Don't make me get my daddy.
Right.
Don't make me get my daddy down here, right? The second thing he should have done after she had eaten the fruit is to not eat.
Mm-hmm.
So not only address the snake, but if she done already ate, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and tell the snake, oh, or tell her, I ain't finna eat.
Right.
You need to hush.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, woman, this is foolishness. This is
Right.
just like Lot said to his wife when his wife started talking like, won't you just curse God and die? He like,
Joe.
what? Oh, Job. Won't you
Joe.
just curse God and die? And he like, oh, woman, you foolish.
Right.
He told her, you need to hush.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm going somewhere with this. So the third thing he should have did is when it interceded
Mm-hmm.
with God on behalf of his wife.
Right.
Watch this. The snake whispered to the bride and the second Adam,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. He did.
What did he do? He addressed the snake with the word. Not only did he address the snake with the word, he didn't eat the fruit of disobedience.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Then what's the last thing he did? He died and then interceded on behalf of his bride for us eating the fruit.
Oof.
Hold on. Husbands, be like Christ. Up. Talk to the snake with word, not out of your flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Right.
If I'm talking to the snake with out of the word, with the word and not out of my flesh, then that's going to give me the discipline because I'm a disciple to resist eating the same fruit as my bride has partaken of.
Right.
And when I sacrifice through discipline, then that gives me the power and the ability to go and intercede on her behalf so that she can be reconciled back to the Father.
Right.
She need to hush, and I need to get on my post and get on my square and do what I'm supposed to do.
Right. So you pretty much explain because a lot of times people ask or want to know what would have happened if Adam wouldn't ate the fruit
Yes.
and Eve did.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what would have
we know the second Adam showed us what would have happened if you don't eat the fruit, because all the fruit represents is disobedience. What will you do when you are offered the opportunity to disobey God? That's the fruit.
Right. Right. So he offered Christ the same fruit, things that he already had.
Yeah.
You know?
He offered him the same fruit.
More.
I offer you an opportunity, the opportunity of more.
Yeah.
I offer you the opportunity to disobey God, and I will give you something great for disobeying the Father. I ain't doing that.
Right.
get thee behind me,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Exactly.
So I'm on this journey again with trying to get stronger in my own personal discipleship.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I that's a video for another day. Some of the stuff I've just come across just in one day. I just started the journey, pulled some resources and just stuff I've learned in one day between listening to what I'm listening to with Trap and AO, and then this discipleship, I have to get the name of it, book that I'm going through and just reading.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, um, man, it's powerful, powerful stuff.
Yeah.
So here's here's the second part of She Need to Hush. I've had in the last 2 weeks multiple conversations
Mm-hmm.
with three different men. And it's sometimes I can tell when something really needs to be addressed because these people don't know each other personally.
Mm-hmm.
Their common thread is me,
Right.
but they don't know each other individually.
Okay.
And without me saying a word, they're all three talking about the same thing.
Mm.
You and I have been talking about discipleship for over a year, year and a half,
Yeah.
almost 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and the need for discipleship. Now, discipleship is the topic du jour now.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's talking about discipleship. Here's the thing that these guys are talking about. They are consistently talking about not feeling heard or having the opportunity to be heard
Mm-hmm.
by the woman that they love. She need to hush.
Yep.
And what's
And listen.
and listen. Yeah, you can't listen while you're talking. And the thing that they have brought up is it's almost the same, slightly different in certain situations, but there's a lot of similarity.
Mm-hmm.
Is when they try to share what's going on with them, one of a few things happens. It either immediately pivots from what they're talking about concerning them
Mm-hmm.
to what is bothering her
Yep.
that may or may not have anything to do with him,
Mm-hmm.
or they take what he is sharing, even if he's just sharing how he's feeling about something she did or how she made him feel or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She takes it personal instead of hearing the heart of it.
Yep.
Or when he is venting something that has nothing to do with her,
Mm-hmm.
she takes it personal as if it all has to do with her. So everything ends up
Of
being
being about
about
her.
her. And
Mm-hmm.
then even when he's talking to her about it, she can listen to him about 5 minutes before she makes the whole topic about her.
Mm-hmm.
And not even so much about her concerning him, but it's like in an ability, it's like almost like they try and make an attempt to relate
Mm-hmm.
to what the man is saying, but then they just take flight on all about them, and he never gets to say another word. So
Right.
he like, you know what?
Yeah. I'm done trying.
I'm done trying. And this is one of those things. It is not an excuse. It is not acceptable. It is not a way out. I'm just simply stating facts about why some people go find, and this cuts both ways, men and women, but I'm addressing men right now about why some men find themselves in the arms of another lady is because I'm telling you, said it before on here. There is no one who would cheer louder for your man
Mm-hmm.
than the side chick.
Right.
She is an expert listener. She may not care nothing about him,
Mm-hmm.
but she will listen and give him the illusion
Mm-hmm.
that she is all in for him or that
Right.
she can be the better woman. She
Right.
will give him the illusion.
And like you say, it's definitely an illusion or temporary because the
Mm-hmm.
same thing is when you get in the relationship or you're every day with
Mm-hmm.
them, the same things start to happen. So the cycle repeats itself.
It
And
does.
then it's her. And so then you go, oh, let me get the next side.
Yeah.
And then it's her. And so, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not that it doesn't that he don't have work to do. Is
For
that
sure.
and this bring me to my third? She need to hush.
We all have work to do.
We all got work to do. This
Mhm.
bring me to my third. She needs to hush, and I go back to the interview on Hardly Initiated with Trap and AO. And they start out with a video, and this lady, like, basically, if it's a man, he over 40 and he blah blah blah, he this, that's a red flag, red flag, red flag. And they were asked to speak to that. And they
Mhm.
basically like, nah, sis, that's just rhetoric that
Mhm.
you popping out there. That's not a red flag
Mhm.
if this man is doing the work or whatever. And so here's the other part.
But they were nice enough to say that I understand what she's saying, and then breaking it
Yeah,
down a
then they
little bit
broke it
more.
down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They didn't attack her. But here's what I found on the third. Um, here's what I found for my third. She needs to hush. And this is what has me nervous. I'm excited and fearful at the same time for marriages and relationships.
Mm.
I'm excited and fearful for marriages and relationships all at the same time. Here's why. I am watching men do something that men typically don't do, which is seek out therapy and counseling so that they can deal with their issues, their trauma, their hangups, their holdups, so that not they're not doing it for women. They're doing it so that they can be
Mhm.
better men.
Mhm.
They're doing it so that I can be a better man for the woman I love. I can be a better man for my community. I can be a better man just for my everyday self. I can be a better man to be a better father. I can be a better man to be a better employee, better entrepreneur. They're doing it, not centering it around the woman.
Right.
They're doing the work.
And I want to shout them out. We see you doing the work. We see you doing the work.
Yeah, but y'all need to hush.
We see y'all doing the work.
But
I'm
and that's
excited about it
but
too.
that's the here's the fearful part about
Mhm.
that. Men are finally doing the work that, and I'm thinking about the video that they used at the beginning. Men are finally doing the work that so many women have wanted men to do.
Mhm.
That when these men get
Mhm.
in fullness
Mhm.
of their healing, these women will not be prepared to walk beside these men because they have not done the work necessary for them.
Right.
Now they go, oh, women been going to counseling, we've been going to therapy. Yes, but here's why it's dangerous for y'all that you don't get. Your care therapy and counseling, because a lot of times women tend to center their lives around a man,
Mhm.
right? You've been doing that. So you've been calibrating your healing
Mhm.
off of dealing with men who are unhealed.
Right.
So now when he gets healed, the level of work you have put in because you were not calibrated properly
Mhm.
will potentially
Mhm.
end up not being enough. And all of a sudden you find yourself alone
Mhm.
and still needing to do more work.
Right.
What are you going to do when he gets healed and you're not healed where he's at?
Right.
Now, my prayer is that's
Because
the
one, you haven't done the work for you, and two, and we've talked about this before. I don't know if me and you have, but my daughter, we've talked about it because a lot of times women are taught worth, and their calibration, or this calibration that you're talking about is built around what other people one thing, but mainly men.
Mhm. Y'all see how she cut me off?
Oh, sorry. Did I? I thought you was pausing.
No, I went.
Oh, my bad.
You good.
Oh, okay, finish your statement. I didn't want to forget what I was going to say.
I hear you, but I'm gonna use this as an example.
Mm-hmm.
But that is something that y'all do when men are talking to y'all anyway, naturally.
What's that?
When a man is open up and trying to share, y'all will jump in
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't want to forget your thought, which says you wasn't listening to what his thought was.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Because what they teach you in active listening,
Mm-hmm.
I can't be listening if I'm already thinking about what I want to say.
No. So I wasn't listening.
I'm just saying. I'm like,
No, I get it.
that's real time. example, and that happens, and that probably happens a lot both
Mhm.
ways, but y'all have a tendency to cut that guy off because you really are, and I chalk it up to this. Part of it is you're so excited about him talking
Mhm.
that it's like, oh, I'm excited.
Right.
But then at the time of being excited about him talking, you're not actually receiving the full message of what he's
Or the
saying.
thing.
So you're only getting part of the gift,
That makes sense.
right? You're
Right.
only getting part of the gift. And the whole gift is to take in all that he's saying and then process it and then respond,
Mm.
right?
True.
But that's the art of communication. That's the
Mhm.
art of getting better at communication across
For
the board
sure.
for men and for women, right? Because our lost art is we have a tendency to tune it out if it seems too deeply rooted in feelings and emotion.
Mhm.
And we're missing part of the gift,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, but when I'm looking at this and we're talking about like, hey, this man is now in a place of healed. And what I was saying is my hope is that if the men have truly done the work and it was not centered around the woman,
Mhm.
that he will have matured enough spiritually, emotionally, mentally, that he can be patient with her
Right.
as she catches up,
Exactly. Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
That's the hope, is that he, in doing his work, because I'm gonna say something that some might find controversial. If the world is going to be, if order is going to be restored in the world,
Mhm.
and we got to go through this cycle that we're going through right now, but if order is going to be restored to the world, it will have to begin with men. Somebody might hear that and say that sounds very chauvinistic,
Mhm.
and you're probably hearing through your wounds. But I want you to hear through the word. Every
Right.
time God began to address the need for the nation to be corrected, he called the men to the mountain,
Mhm.
the
He
elders
did.
to the mountain to be addressed,
Mhm.
right? He
Right.
called them, what's up, sis? What's up? He called the,
Hey, Saint.
hey, say, hey, that prophet. So he called the men to the mountain.
Mhm.
And when you start dealing with how we call into this show, you do you got to let me know. I need to be just set up so you can call in. I need just be set up so you can call in. But he calls the men.
Mhm.
So that tells me, and let me say this another way. Let me say it in another way that might be unpopular.
Mhm.
If God was going to do it through a woman, he would have sent a woman to die on the cross. He didn't send a woman to die on the cross.
Right.
He sent a representative sample of a man. Now, I want y'all to understand this about me.
Mhm.
I believe that you do not see the full image of God until you see man and woman together operating and collaborating in unison
Mhm.
as God originally intended in the Bible.
Right.
I also believe that God is not just trying to get us to what we deem this subservient relationship of marriage that we have come toward to be, but I believe that God is trying to restore marriage to its original state as
Mhm.
he attended it
To be.
in the
Uh-huh.
garden,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
We're missing the mark a lot of times on marriage because we don't want to go any further. Hey Lex, hey
Hey.
sis, we
I just saw that. Like, hey, let.
we don't what we a lot of times don't want to accept is we don't want to go any further than Ephesians, husband wives submit to your husbands, husbands love
Love
your
your
wife.
wives.
We don't
Right.
want to go any further than that, but God is saying I'm trying to show you the path back to Eden.
Mhm.
I'm trying to show you back to its original state,
Right.
because marriage in its original state, marriages today are a shell of what God intended them to be.
Mhm. Agreed. Yeah.
God is saying, I'm trying to get marriages back to their original state.
Mhm.
But we only want to go as far as Ephesians because Ephesians puts us in this real in this real power struggle battle
Mhm.
of you better submit to me, and oh, I gotta submit to him, and I gotta do all this, when God is
And you
like,
better love me.
yeah. And this is what people miss, is in the garden there was still order, there was
Mhm.
still headship, but it looked so much
Different.
different. It looks so much different
Mhm.
than the marriages we have out here today.
Right. Yeah.
And so God is trying to get us back to a place where marriage is in this paradise where the two truly are one,
Mhm.
where there is nothing that can separate it but God, and God separates it at death. He is
Right.
trying to get us out of contract marriage to covenant,
Mhm. Yep. Where
right?
they oh,
Go ahead.
you sure?
Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
where they both were um truly transparent and naked.
Yes.
Mhm.
We lost transparency and nakedness, and trust
Mhm.
and vulnerability. We lost all of
Vulnerability.
that in the
Yeah.
garden. And God is saying, I'm trying to point you back over here to Genesis.
Mhm.
I'm telling people there is so much power in the first 3 books of Genesis
Right.
about marriage
Mhm.
that if you take the time to really dissect it and understand that every marriage should have a garden to tend to.
Mhm.
A lot of these marriages out here are raggedy because your garden to tend to is vacations. Your garden to tend to is
Woo.
houses. Your garden to tend to is 401ks. Your garden to tend to is dream cars. Your garden, it does nothing. Your garden is all about you. But when God placed marriage in the earth, that marriage was to serve something greater
Mhm.
than itself. They got blessed
Mhm.
by how they served together.
Together. Yeah.
Covenant.
Now I gotta sing my song. You think this marriage is about you, don't you? Don't you?
You so silly.
You're
You so
so bad.
yeah, you so silly. But that's the thing.
Mhm.
And when I still, again, this topic, this episode tonight is she need to hush.
Mhm.
She needs to hush. Here's one of those nuggets from Genesis. God had a long time with him, and God had a long time with her. He had a long time with him, and he had a long time with her. Tell me how much alone time you're spending with God,
Mm. Whew.
individually
Mhm.
and collectively.
Yeah.
How much alone time are you spending with God, and how much time is your marriage spending with God?
Mhm.
I like the way somebody put it. What was that episode? Was it a Hardly Initiated? Oh my goodness. I forget who it was.
What was it about?
Or it might have been on tonight's conversation, but they were talking about it, and they said this. They said, oh, it's on tonight's conversation. I think it's Kitty Rose said it. She said, y'all, most of y'all don't invite God. You invite God to your wedding, and even when you invite him to your wedding, you don't invite him. You don't invite God into your relationship until you're at the wedding. And even when you invite him at the wedding, you don't invite him as the authority at the
Mhm.
wedding.
You invite him
You
as a
you
guest.
invite him as a guest.
Mhm.
Hey, what's going on,
Yes. Yes.
Chandra? You you
Hey,
invite you are
Shan.
inviting God as a guest. So
Mhm.
the question becomes, is God an authority invited into your marriage at all? And if he is he an authority
Right.
or is he a guest?
For sure.
See, guest, you can say get out.
Mhm.
But if he's an authority,
Right. And he needs to be in that position at all times. So a lot of times we'll make him authority, when it's
we make him a surrogate. Like,
no
you know how
right.
the power of attorney?
Mhm. Right. When it's convenient.
When it's convenient, I
Yeah.
need God. And when it's convenient, or when you're going through, I need you now.
Mhm.
y'all doing the y'all doing the y'all doing the Smoky Norfolk
All right.
when things going horrible.
Mhm.
But nah, God, I need you in the middle of this thing, like right now, while it's good.
Mhm.
I need
All
you in
the
the good. I
time.
need you in the middle while it is going well.
Mhm. Yeah.
I need to know that you already there when it's
Mhm.
going well,
Right.
right? I don't need to wait until it's going sideways and then try and get a be saying I don't need to be 91100. Lord, it's an emergency.
Right.
I don't need to. I don't need to be Wyclef Jean. That somebody please call 911. I don't need it. Then I need you like, hey, it's a beautiful day in this marriage over here. Look at
Right.
that. Look at the birds are chirping. The sun is shining. The father is walking.
But we don't just do that for marriage, even for our individual
Even
selves.
for our
Acknowledge
individual
him
self.
in everything. And so when we acknowledge him and even the things that we think we got handled or we could do on our own, the outcome is still better than what we thought it would be.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm I'm getting revved for the revival. This this is gonna be so awesome. But what's awesome about it
Mhm.
is as we continue to identify what God wants us to do and tend to in our garden,
Mhm.
the opportunity to operate in garden mode,
Right.
the opportunity to operate in garden mode, to be those gardeners, to be able to do it collectively as a unit,
Mhm.
to do the work.
I feel my next song bubbling up. So
What song
that's
is
what she
that?
said. Don't sing that one again. How about let's get back to Eden, live on top of the world?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we
It's
go.
our garden moment. Let's
It's
get
our,
back to Eden.
it's our garden moment.
Mm.
What is your garden? If you don't have an idea, like if you over here fine tune to grow fruit trees, but you in the middle of a rose garden, it's gonna be problems.
Mhm.
It takes a different type of care to take care of roses than it does to take care of
Orange
fruits,
trees or
orange trees,
fruit
and
trees. Yeah.
yeah, lemons and limes.
Mhm.
It takes a different. It takes something different.
Right.
So as we get ready to wrap this, as we get ready to wrap this up, um, she need to hush
And listen.
and listen. Here's what she's listening for. And this is why alone time is important. You need to be hush. You need to hush so that you can discern the voice of the enemy. You need to hush so you can discern the voice of God. And you need to hush so that you can discern and hear the heart of Him,
Mhm.
the man that you say God has sent into your life. Silence
Mhm.
in order to hear. I was doing my mindfulness last night, going to sleep, and or before bedtime, and it's all about paying attention to your breath.
Mhm.
You know, it was so hard for me to just tune in to my own breathing, like listen to your own breath.
Mhm.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Right.
And then, but when you can finally get there, I got there for like a hot 10 seconds. It does kind of center you in peace and bring you down and whatever. And even tonight, I was sitting there and I was trying to get focused. Okay, I got a lot of things I need to do. I'm
Mhm.
looking here, I'm looking there, and as I'm processing all this stuff, like I had on headphones and I could hear my heart beating in my ears,
Mhm.
like boom, boom, boom. So I pulled out my little device, just check, hey, see if I'm in sinus rhythm, whatever was going on.
Right.
Everything was good, but it's like my chest is kind of somewhat pounding, and that's just an indicator, like, bruh, you stress.
And Mel said it, too busy for a long time.
Yeah,
So that's what we really need to address. The busyness that we have, that we think we have, and we're not intentional. You have to
no.
be intentional, and not just intentional, but because that's the determination
What's
part.
up, Brandon?
But hey, Brandon, but discipline
Yeah,
as well to
yeah,
do it. So actually doing the things is more than, putting them on the calendar, talking about them, being intentional about it, and then having the discipline to follow through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that has been echoing in my heart a lot within the last week and a half is I've got to put my life on a calendar. And then I've just got to get super intentional about what's on
Mhm.
that calendar. If it's not on that, if I can do it a week at a time, then get that to a month at a time, then get that to 2 months at a time and 3 months at a time. That's not to say that things can't be changed, but it's got to have a good reason and it can't be on a whim.
Right.
It's got to go in line
Yep.
with what's there, and then pray about
Mhm.
that calendar as I'm writing it down.
Mhm.
Like, what am I taking on? If I have, and this is the thing, including on that calendar scheduled rest time. This is my rest time. This
Yep.
is my reflection time. And I am not doing anything else other than swinging in my hammock or whatever it is that I consider rest for me,
Mhm.
even if it ain't rest for somebody else. If it is rest for me, let me rest. And I
Right.
was listening to somebody today. They said, if you don't know how to rest, they say, if you don't rest,
Mhm.
not resting is disobedience too, because
Yep.
God said rest,
For sure. For
right?
sure. Yep. Yep.
And
It's
are some of your relationships are so noisy because you're doing the most.
mhm.
You got too much going on,
Too much on your plate.
too much on your plate. You don't have to
Mhm.
be doing all of the stuff that
You
you're
don't.
doing,
You don't. You
which
don't.
makes me question if you're really happy at home because you got something always going,
Mhm.
or y'all ain't collaborating in no something.
Mhm.
That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, because it could be so many things, internal, external, so many things going on with you. But definitely scheduling rest. The thing that I've added, and I think you're gonna add it too, is a mental health day, a month, a month. I think we really need that.
One mental health day a month
Yes,
at a minimum.
at a
You
minimum,
do.
but
You
at
do.
least one mental health day a month.
I
Um,
I
but definitely having rest, being committed to whatever it is that you are going to do after taking some of those things off your plate. Hey, the things that I have on there, one, I'm gonna be committed to them. Two, I'm gonna be intentional about them, and three, I'm gonna follow through because that's where my discipline comes in.
yeah. I need to have on my schedule
Mm-hmm.
rest. And somebody, can you do this? Hold on, let me check my count. No, I cannot.
Mm-hmm.
What you got to do?
Right,
That ain't none of your business.
right,
I got to do
right.
it. And that doing it might be
Right. Because
rest.
what's crazy when you're doing your calendars, putting them in structure, and you're doing all your things. I do this from this time to this time, this from this time to this time. And then it'll either tell you when something's overlapping. So you need to change a little bit. And then you get everything on schedule and realize you have no wiggle room. It's like
Yeah,
everything is bump, 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 bump. I have no room to do this. And it tells you too, hey, you don't have enough space or time, or do you want to leave a little room to at least breathe, to at least do something. But a lot of times we'll look at that, and society has told us, oh, if it's not filled up for the whole day, then something's wrong.
something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's wrong. So, we need to really get to a place, and again, now we going off topic, but we really do need to
Mm-hmm.
get to a place of understanding, like, rest is so strategic in our success.
Mm-hmm.
Discipline is so strategic in our success. And this is like about a month ago, I felt this whisper in my spirit. If you're undisciplined anywhere, you're going to be undisciplined everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes time.
Right.
If you undisciplined anywhere, you're eventually going to be undisciplined everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
because lack of discipline is contagious,
Right.
just like discipline can be contagious.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say this last thing. If y'all hadn't, if you're not subscribed to, like, um hardly initiated, you don't even have to, just watch this episode, especially guys, with AO and Wall Street Trapper.
It's really good.
A lot of good information in there. Um but they talk about this, and this is so important. They talked about, like, prioritizing, like, spiritual maturity,
Mm-hmm.
personal, not personal, physical, spiritual, emotional, financial,
and I
and
think
physical
physical.
and
Mm-hmm.
physical. So
Physical.
it's like four different things. And I'm telling you, as a man, it is difficult to lead your home if you are not centered and grounded in God. Ladies, it is difficult to be with a man who is not rooted and centered in God.
Mm-hmm.
Why? And this is what they said in the episode, and this is something I've told people. I've had people ask me the question. They said, "Hey, uh, um,
We'll talk about that
we
later.
talk about that later, sis. Hey, girl, you wow." So this is the thing that is I've had people ask me like, "Why do I need God in my relationship?"
Mm-hmm.
Because when things go left, and I'm not telling you to only have God when things go left, but when things go left, you have no higher authority. You have nothing to pull on other than you.
Right.
And if it's gone left, you have probably failed somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have anything else to, even if you solid and they're not, you need a little bit of help,
Right.
right?
Right.
You need a little bit of help.
Right.
And you don't have nobody to pull on that help from.
Well, one, because people, and I think this is, and I always tell you, the most undeveloped part of us is our spirituality, but we are spiritual beings.
Yes.
And so we lean a lot of times into our physical or our natural or our humanness, which we don't ignore, but it starts out spiritual first and tuning into that and getting into a good place. So we definitely got to get our spiritual weight up because we are spiritual beings. And a lot of times that I don't know if it's just hadn't been taught right or wrong, and we think that's the church part of it or the
Yeah.
church thing, and so or the emotion of church and the emotion of what we do in church and how we worship is
Mm-hmm.
what you think your spirituality or you conduce your spiritual relationship to,
Too.
and it's much, 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 much more than that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, we got to get to a place of just understanding that. Look, this, this, this marriage is spiritual. If God is not in the center of it, you have a contract, not a covenant.
mm,
Okay. Um,
period,
um,
period.
period. So, listen, we really do thank you for joining us
Mhm.
on tonight. Ladies, you need to hush. Let me reiterate again. You need to be quiet so you can learn to discern the voice of the enemy. Keep that at your house. You need to be quiet so that you can learn to discern the voice of the Father. Okay? Hey, how
Hi,
you doing,
Jay.
Jay?
We're good. Thanks for asking.
Sis, we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. I ain't saying you're right, but I ain't saying you're wrong. I don't know that man like that. But anyway, you need to hush to discern the voice of the Father, and you need to hush so that you can discern the heart of your husband. One of the things that we've had in our 26 years, and hold on, shout out
I was gonna
to
say.
Brandon and Alexis for hosting us and throwing us a inviting some people out to celebrate our 26-year anniversary.
Mhm.
They put together a nice dinner for us. They
Thank
just brought some
y'all.
friends together. We really appreciate that.
It
I
was
have a little
beautiful.
bit of video footage of where the couples, we had like 155 years of marriage around the table, combined marriage experience, and I caught some videos of some of the wisdom that was being shared with Brandon and Alexis as they prepare. I hope that it was a blessing to them, and I'm gonna share some of that video footage. I want to make sure people are comfortable with me putting them out on social media.
Mhm.
But yeah, is really a good time. We really appreciate you guys.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Jay. Thank you.
Yes, our
Uh,
anniversary was.
Lord. Yeah, our anniversary was 10/9,
Yeah.
and they did something for us on the 12th.
12.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But we've been celebrating most of the month. Um,
And we'll continue to do
and we're gonna continue to do so. We're gonna celebrate all the way the into 27. We're gonna keep going.
so.
Like
Okay.
we're gonna just celebrate all the way to 27. Just getting it going,
Well,
getting
I
it going.
thought you had said we're gonna celebrate into 27. Like, did we skip a couple years? Did I wake up and start
No,
into like? Cause 25 is the next year, so I thought you went into the new year. like the
No.
end of
Oh
this
no,
year.
no,
So I
no.
was like,
Into
into 27. I was like, we going into 25, aren't we?
uh,
Okay.
listen. Alexis is one of the baddest in the games about putting together them reels and them videos. And I can't. She and I talking, and I got to get myself positioned so I can get her to do some work for me. But she wasn't the baddest in the game. I'm thinking about that other video. Which video, Brandon? Which video? Because I think y'all owe us a couple of 'em. But yeah, like we
Yeah.
really do. We appreciate it. Listen, we wish marriage was perfect. It's not. But it's a whole lot closer to perfection when you start doing it God's way from the beginning. That's why we out here in these marriage streets, in these dating streets, trying to help people get it right. And eventually we're gonna get to that place where um my good sister Melanie Stuckey, how she think we need to get back into arranging marriages and getting that thing together and just saying, hey, look, this your husband, this your
Right.
wife over here,
Let that
and
discernment
getting
flow
to that
through.
place of discernment where we
Mm.
get the right people with the right people and that kind of stuff. And I don't know if I disagree with it, but anyway.
I'm down for some matchmaking. I'm down for
Yeah, Tamika down for some matchmaking. I
it.
don't know about that. I don't know about
Yes, I can do it.
uh yeah, thank you, Brandon. Yeah, y'all owe us about we I'm gonna give y'all a reprieve. I know y'all got a lot on your plate. You know we love you guys. We're here for you
Hmm.
if you need
For
us.
sure.
As you have this season that you're going through. Um, listen, we thank you for joining us. We done out talked our music, and we finna get ready to get out of here. Don't forget, when the time falls back, we fall back, which means we're gonna start going live at 9 o'clock. And when the time spring forward, we gonna still been them fell back because we gonna start going live at 9 o'clock so we can get our happy behind in bed sooner versus later. And we are going to try to get one more late night marriage with the riches live this year before the year gets out.
We're
I need
working
your
on
help.
it.
Lexus, when you get free, Brandon, when y'all get free, I need y'all to help us put together another late night marriage with the riches. Cause I suck at putting stuff together. I'm being real.
I second that. No.
She seconds it. Girl, you need to hush. Hey, listen, we out of here. We love you guys. And we'll see you on the next episode of Late Night Marriage with the Riches. And sis, I'm gonna call you before our next episode and see if I can get you on. Just prepare to be on the show on next Wednesday. Let's talk. Let's talk. I like let's talk, sis, so I can get you on there. And Lexus, I need to get with you and Brandon so we can get some plan together because we also want to get some stuff planned into New Year, get it on the books. Cause are we gonna do our annual wine tasting?
Next year,
Yeah, 2025.
we'll see.
Huh. Let's talk about it. Good night. Y'all have a blessed one. Thanks,
We
Jay.
love you
You
for
have a peaceful
real.
night's sleep. And we are out.